We finally have some details about the new civilization coming into Rise of Kingdoms, which is Maya, but honestly when I look at it, I don't even know why they decided to release this civilization, because at least to me, it doesn't make any sense. Let me know in the comment section below if I'm wrong, but let's discuss the civilization and talk about which civ this is going to replace, because it is a new civilization, so I'm expecting this to replace another one, but I don't think it will. Let's go. Alright, first of all, I think this is the coolest design that I've seen in Rise of Kingdoms. This is going to be amazing for design purposes. The buildings, the theme is, I think, on point. It is great. However, we obviously in Rise of Kingdoms, we don't really care about it that much. But what we really care in Rise of Kingdoms when it comes to civilizations is the bonuses, the buffs that Civ provides. So let's take a look at it. Increases normal damage and ranged normal damage by 3%. Increases archer defense by 5%, which is weird in my opinion. I will get to that why. And increases gold gathering speed by 10%. Now let's start with the first one. Increases normal damage and ranged normal damage by 3%. When we first heard about Maya civilization, we were like, okay, siege players are finally getting a civilization. If you're a siege specialist, or you don't even have to be a specialist, if you are a siege main, let's say you have multiple siege marches, one of the main things that you were lacking was the civilization. So Maya would have been the perfect solution to that. But no, it made sense, right? Because they are releasing 2 new epics for siege units, I mean range combat. They released 2 more legendaries, again for range combat. And now they're releasing pretty much at the same time a new civilization, and siege players were lacking civilization, so Maya would have been perfect. But no, it gives archer defense. Now of course there is something that's going to benefit range marchers, which is 3% extra range normal damage. However, on top of that, it also increases regular normal damage. Now the second portion of it, range normal damage, is going to be even more important if you are using the smite damage commanders from the siege units, which is Gajah and Cordoba. If that is, let's say, your only siege march, and on top of that, if you are using a smite damage infantry march, for example, William Modus and Liu Che, yes, it's going to be really good for you. But before we talk about those details, let's also take a look at the last bonus, increase gold gathering speed by 10%. Now this is also situational. So when I look at the civilization, the only thing that comes to my mind at first glance is that if you are a heavy T5 fighter, your farm accounts could use this one, because this means most likely if you're a heavy T5 fighter, you're going to need a lot of gold. So there is a high chance that all your farm accounts are only gathering gold. And of course, Maya civilization gives you the best gold gathering speed. But let's say if you're fighting with tier 4 units, you actually have better options. If you are focusing on archers, you surely have better options. If you're a heavy infantry player, even though some of them deal smite damage, you still have better options. And for, yes, range normal damage, this is like the only bonus to range units, but you still have very solid alternatives. Now let's take a look at in-game and talk about those alternatives. By the way, there is one thing that we don't know, and that is quite important. We still don't know the special units of Maya civilization. But most likely, since it gives archer bonus stats, I'm expecting archers for special units. And also, with every new civilization, we get 1 legendary commander for gold keys and also 1 epic commander. In that case, those are not going to be siege or range commanders, those are going to be archers. So let's go back in game and talk about possible alternative civilizations. Now let's remember the first bonus, increase normal damage. So if you're using an infantry march with smite damage, yes, this is a good bonus, but for infantry, you have a lot of different options, especially like, look at Greece. Increases infantry health by 5%, and that is basically the best stat in the game. Greece, it's going to be better for your infantry. The second bonus, we will get the range normal damage later. Let's talk about increase archer defense. So as I said, I'm expecting it to have archer special units. However, if you're a heavy archer player, Ottoman is clearly the best civilization in the game. It gives archer health, it gives march speed, it gives skill damage. It is giving you exactly what you want. Like, this is hands down the best civilization, best open field fighting civilization in the game. So if you have 2, 3, 4 archer marches, this is going to be your civilization. Again, in this situation, you don't care about Maya as well. And the fourth bonus is increases gold gathering speed by 10%. As I said, if you are using specifically only tier 5s in KVKs, yes, this is going to be amazing for you, because with all your farm accounts, you are most likely gathering only gold. So for your farm accounts, you can use the civilization to gather gold 10% faster. However, if you are not fighting exclusively with tier 5s, Japan is also a great alternative, maybe even better, because it gives you 5% resource gathering speed, so it applies to all resources. The only thing that you are missing in this scenario, minus 5% gold gathering speed, but in return you are getting 5% gold, 5% wood, 5% food, and 5% stone. So if with your farm accounts, because if you are not using exclusively tier 5s, you don't actually need that much gold. This means with your farms, you are most likely gathering lots of different resources, whether it's food, wood, whatever. So in that case, Japan is going to be better. And for the last buff, range normal damage by 3%. Now this is good. This is, as I said, the only range buff in the game, at least for the civilizations. If we take a look at France, for example, it gives troop health 3%. However, you could argue that increased range normal damage 3% is or could be better than this 3% troop health. That might be true, but if you also consider the other bonus, the second bonus of France, hospital healing speed by 20%. This means if you are using France in your KVKs, you are going to be using 20% less healing speed ups. And unless you are a freaking Kraken, you don't have unlimited speed ups. 20% speed is actually pretty massive. So in my opinion, if you are a heavy spender who plays with only siege marches for some reason, then yes, Maya would be better for you. However, if you are not, if you are a free-to-play, low spender, maybe even a mid spender, France is going to be better because it gives troop health 3%. This means this is not only giving a bonus for your siege march, it gives all your marches, whether it's infantry, cavalry, archers, or siege. But on top of that, you're using 20% less speed ups for healing, and that is basically the most speed up consuming thing that you will do when you are in KVK. So I think France, in that regard, is better. Now, there is one thing, Maya civilization will be the best, but it doesn't concern most of the players, because if you take a look at the stats, increase normal damage and increase archer defense, the only scenario that this one would be better than Ottoman Empire is, I think, for archer garrison. Because if we take a look at the latest archer garrison commander, it doesn't deal skill damage, it heals and it's going to deal true damage. This means if later down in the line we get another archer healing true damage garrison commander, and obviously it will pair so well with this guy, and then Maya civilization is going to be better because remember the buffs of Ottoman. It gives movement speed, which is useless for garrison. It also gives extra skill damage, again, which is going to be useless for an archer garrison that heals and deals true damage. So in that scenario, I think Maya civilization is going to be the best. And that is like the only scenario that comes to my mind. Again, if the special unit is archers, but I'm 90% sure because it gives an archer defense buff. And the other one we already discussed, if you are only gathering gold with your farm accounts, then yes, Maya again is going to be the best. Hope you guys liked it, hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know down below if I'm missing anything about this new civilization. And make sure to drop a like and subscribe for more Rise of Kingdoms videos. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.